Hi, boys and girls at RES. Today I have come to you again to read another book, but this time it's just a fun book. I thought I would read one that I used to read to my own kids when they were little. A lot of you have probably heard the story of the Three Little Pigs, but this one is a little bit different. This is called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. So this is how it goes. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by Alexander Wolf, also known as A. Wolf. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. It's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, this whole big bad thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in once a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built this whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house. So I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch and I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. Well, it seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big old cheeseburger just laying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to his neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He's a little bit smarter, but not much. He built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. So I called again. Mr. Pig, are you in? He called back, go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you are not going to believe it. But this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now, you know, food will spoil if you leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family because he had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick door. No answer. I called Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday cake and card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I hopped and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then that third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin." Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little bit crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down stuff. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story, I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. The end. So that is a new twist on an old tale. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you all are enjoying your week and staying safe, and I can't wait to see you all again. Goodbye.